fades in deep, cinematic and wide. Evolving paths shimmer with high and inverted stereo motion. Melodic repeats you enters, pulsing gently with a slow filter rise. Percussion, subtle tick hats, tight, minimal kick. Background affairs, aurora. Bassline expands, deep sidechained to kick. Pads evolve harmonically with movements. Harps take on a melodic pattern, echoing and panning across stereo. Groove, balance, cinematic and hypnotic. Add bright, white, atmospheric vocal harmonies and faint reversed swells. Percussion layers expand, rim hits, brushed claps. Energy rises with slow tension, no sharp risers, just elegant build. They rise with the sound, aurora all around. Full groove engages, deep cinematic sub-bass drives the pulse. Lush paths and bright arcs intertwine, airy vocals glide across reverb space. Deep percussion, clean, minimal but precise. Energy hypnotic and elevating like light waves in motion. Drums fade, leaving bass and arcs. Harps slow down, echoed with reverb trails. Sub-path modulation, ambient swells create movement. Brief silence before groove rebuilds. Groove returns smoother, deeper, patchier, wider, vocal stretch lower. Sub-bass subtly thickens for emotional impact. Ends with fading arcs and pad decay, cinematic finish. Groove returns smoother, deeper. Pad shimmer wider, vocal stretch longer. Sub-bass subtly thickens for emotional impact. Ends with fading arcs and pad decay, cinematic finish. glass clinks, soft vinyl crackles, subtle reverb tail. Short loud synth deep teases main melody. Optional smooth female vocal. Low and breathy, golden lights and satin air. The night unfolds, we're unaware. Silhouettes and whispered tones, every moment feels like home. Baseline warm, rounded, slight drive for presence. Double up warmth, lush mid-range, percussion. Soft, precise, creating gentle swing. Synth smooth poly, filtered slightly for intimacy. Zone the stereo spread. Synth lead rises suddenly, layered with shimmer. Vocal chops echo faintly after warm as in lower clitoris. Echoes light tension. Built down and heavy. Crystal lights fall at your mic face. Fall at your mouth roof. Keeping the locks up, bass tight kick. Warm pads in the line and hour. Gonna lock synth play eventually like percussion. Keeps flow silky and rhythmic. Vocal head shimmer across reverb. Melodies smooth cause we're humor from couch relaxed. Kick and percussion fade softly. Pads and bass hold lush harmonic space. Arpeggiated analog synth gently drifts through mix. Reversed effects and filter risers add subtle lift. Groove returns with deep warmth. Pad shimmer with expanded stereo field. Bassline remains smooth and hypnotic. Vocals fade gently into airy pad tail. Ends with an analog pad decay and reverb bell. Built down and heavy. Crystal lights fall at your mic face. Fall at your mouth groove. Deep in the locks up, bass tight kick. More pads in the line and now gonna lock synth play eventually like percussion. Crystal lights.
Effects, but distance and shaker texture fading. And tribal percussion slowly builds. Deep toms, hand drums, muted shakers. Airy synth pad floats above, smooth, open atmosphere. Soft kick pulse introduced subtly. The sound feels organic, like modern wide stereo space. Ethereal, chant-like vocal phrases. Soft, reverb-heavy, light on the horizon, whisper in the sand. Deep, organic sub-bass joins, warm, flowing. Percussion adds groove, congas, brushed snares, gentle bells, synth stabs, enter classy and airy, dancing over the rhythm. Pads evolve like mirages, shifting textures and filters. Percussion lightens, airy pad swells, take focus. Subtle riser, using wind or filtered white noise. Vocals echo, fading into space. Builds anticipation through rhythm rather than intensity. Desert lights, guiding me through the night. Full groove emerges, hunting tribal percussion. spikes, guiding me through the night. Full groove emerges, haunting tribal percussion layered with deep cadence, smooth sub-bassline rolling in sync. Airy synths shimmering across the stereo field, occasional vocal hums and human. Feel hypnotic essential, cinematic immersion for deep subs and sense. Groove drops to hand percussion, hands, a vocal sound.
Tropical pads fading, airy wire shimmering, subtle kick and percussion start, brushed hi-hats, domes, violins, Lakers.
Podcast in ocean waves, soft vinyl crackle for warmth.
Gentle arpeggio motif emerges, tropical melodic.
Airy, ethereal vocal phrases.
Sunlight fading on the sand, echoes of Ibiza in our hands.
Warm, rolling, tropical groove.
Pads evolve, shimmering, bright, airy.
Percussion layers, soft hands fill in. Risers and filter sweeps create gentle anticipation. Percussion develops like layered complexity. Feel the echoes of Ibiza.
Full tropical groove, smooth sub-bass rolling under melody.
Passion rolling, evolve across stereo. Soft kicks,
Airy vocal on melodic layers float above.
energetic, rhythmic yet relaxed. Perfect sunset, deep house vibe. Air and bass fade slightly, leaving pads and percussion.
Arpeggio motif glides with delay and reverb.
Vocals or melodic motifs, freeze.
Risers and subtle effects prepare final drop.
Groove returns full, smooth and hypnotic.
Pads and up shimmer, cinematic tropical feel. Bassline flows gently, side chain to kick. Vocals and melodic motifs fade gradually. Widen, adding harmonic shimmer. Vocal echoes or soft chants float in our hands. Warm, rolling, tropical groove. Pads evolve, shimmering, bright, airy. Percussion layers, soft hands float in hits, melodies, subtle risers and filter sweeps create gentle anticipation. Percussion develops slightly soft layered complexity. Feel the echoes of Ibiza. Full tropical groove, smooth sub-bass rolling under melody. Back shimmer and evolve across stereo complexity. Air hypnotic, melodic layers, float kicks. Feel the echoes of Ibiza. Full tropical groove, smooth sub-bass rolling under melody. Back shimmer and evolve across stereo complexity. Air hypnotic, etheric yet relaxed. Perfect sunset, deep house vibe. Echoes of Ibiza. Full tropical groove, smooth sub-bass rolling under melody. Pad shimmer and evolve across stereo. Perplexes, soft kicks, airy vocal melodic layers float above. Analytic layers float. Energies fade slightly, leaving pads and percussion. Arpeggio motif glides with delay and reverb. Vocals or melodic mud across stereo. Open space, risers and subtle effects prepare final drop. Airy vocal, move, recurrent, smooth and hypnotic. Airy vocal, move, smooth and hip and house by airy vocal, groove, and
So
Kick, deep, low, filter, introduce, gradual. Effort bends, rivers, risers, airy noise sweeps, soft final texture. Atmosphere, smooth, deep, and meditative. Falling through the waves of time, every breath becomes the line. Bass line deepens, subtle syncopation adds groove. Ambient scent shimmer around the vocals. Cushion minimal, soft hats, a clicky rim hits, stags breath and move like liquid in stereo space. Filter sweep on pads and bass, rising warmth. Percussion layers expand gently, shaker snaps and light reverb. Vocals echo, fading into atmosphere. Short rise of transitions smoothly into drop. Ethereal motion, we drift in devotion. Full groove unfolds. Deep rolling bassline locks with the kick. Paths swirl, area multi-layer. Lights, synth, arcs create subtle forward flow. Bass and paths merge as one cohesive wave. Crushing simplified, soft, slow groove. Melodic synth or arc fades out gradually. Ends on sustain, pattern echoing sub-bass pulse. Light, ethereal vocal gift, falling through the waves of time. Every breath becomes the line, bassline deepens, subtle speakers circle, subtle speaker, patient adds groove. Ambience and shimmer around with no cohesive wave. Adds breath and move like liquid in stereo space. Filter sweep on pads and bass, rising warmth. Percussion layers expand gently, shaker snaps and light reverb. Vocals echo, fading into atmosphere. Short rise and transition smoothly into drop. Cushion, we drift into devotion. Cool groove unfolds, deep rolling bassline locks with the kick. Pads swirl, airy and multi-layered. Lights, synth, arcs, create subtle solid flow. Short rise of trance, smoothly to drop. Up and dream top, the Russian hill. Solid hats, a pretty rim hits. Fast breath and move like liquid in stereo space. Filter sweep on pads and bass, rising warmth. Percussion layers expand gently, shaker snaps and light reverb. Vocals echo, fading into atmosphere. Short rise and transition smoothly into drop. Into drop. Ethereal motion, drift in devotion. Full groove unfolds. Deep rolling bassline blocks with the kick. Paths swirl, area from multi-layer. Light, synth, arcs, layered self-flow. Percussion clean, endless thread, smooth energy, energy, property, energy, embedded, deep flow. Groove unfolds. Deep rolling bassline locks with the kick. Pads swirl, area and multi-layer. Light, synth, arcs creep. Soft ambient paths drift in, wide stereo space. Gentle ocean wave samples or air. Textures fade underneath, subtle filtered arpeggio begins pulsing slowly. Kick enters smoothly, tight but deep. Light percussion shake produces rhythm. Airy female vocal, caught in the tide where dreams align. Moments drift through endless time. Oh, horizons fade, but hearts still glow. Every wave whispers, let it flow. Hands expand with sidechain to kick. Deep warm bassline anchors the groove. Arpeggio gains clarity, melodic shimmer rising. Percussion remains soft, steady. Oh, begins holy. That's all creating euphoric
horizon. Feel it in your soul, euphoric pad layers open fully. Airy verb tails, gentle filter, arpeggio remains, slowly building back up. Pads, arps, and bass rejoin, lush and open. Kick and percussion returns, softly maintaining flow. Vocals become more abstract, stretched and reverb washed. Slowly fades into ambient reverb tail and pad wash. Where dreams align, moments drift through endless time. Horizons fade but hearts still glow. Every wave whispers, let it flow. Paths expand with sidechain to kick. Deep warm bassline anchors the groove. Arpeggio gains clarity, melodic shimmer rising, but hearts still glow. Every wave whispers, let it flow. Let it flow, let it flow. With sidechain to kick, deep warm bassline anchors the groove. Arpeggio gains clarity, melodic shimmer rising. The risers fade, but hearts still glow. Every wave whispers, let it flow. That stands like creating euphoric center. Deep warm bassline anchors the groove. Arpeggio gains clarity, melodic shimmer rising. Arpeggio gains clarity, melodic shimmer rising. Percussion remains soft, steady, and flowing. That's no creating euphoric tension, inflowing tension. Vocal harmonies layer faintly in the background. Arpeggio gains clarity, both lift and late in the melodic shimmer rising. Percussion remains soft, steady, and flowing. That's no creating euphoric tension. Vocal harmonies layer faintly in the background. Risers will reverse, since lift atmosphere. Energy builds gradually, smooth, not forced. Localizing loop, to kick. Flowing with subtle modulation, smooth groove, uplifting yet calming. Pads and bass drift away, leaving atmospheric ambience. Foaming bad lay reverb tails, aerial feel, limmer river tails. Gentle filter, arpeggio remains, slowly building back up. Pads, arps, and bass rejoin, lush and open. Kick and percussion return, softly maintaining flow. Vocals become more abstract, stretched, ever washed slowly.
Evolving pads fading gradually, white stereo, subtle harmonic motion. Soft kick, pulse enters, deep clean side chain. Minimal percussion, soft hackers, and distant ring clicks. Wordless, airy vocal phrases or soft synth melody. Through endless skies we drift, a journey without end. Bassline warm, rolling smooth sidechain for groove. That slowly evolve, subtle modulation, dynamic movement. Soft layered min and new, adding texture without heaviness. Our melody develops gently, creating motion. Pads opening wider with harmonic swell. Vocal echoes and filtered arcs float across stereo. Filtered noise riser builds smooth tension. Percussion gains slow complexity, preparing for main drop. Enter infinity. Deep rolling bassline drives rhythm. Evolving paths shimmer, moving through stereo space. Arcs pulse progressively, melodic and hypnotic. Airy vocal layers add ethereal depth. Energy smooth, progressive, cinematic. Kick and bass fade slightly, leaving pads and arps. Through endless skies we drift, a journey without end. Bassline rolling wiggly with slow filter sweeps. Arcs echoed with delay, creating space. Solo riser, atmospheric textures lead into final drop. Groove returns slowly, deep hypnotic, progressive. Tactics and wire shimmering with reverb. Bassline continues flowing. Eyes open wider with harmonic swell. Vocal echoes and filtered arcs float across stereo. Filtered noise riser builds smooth tension. Percussion gains so complexity, preparing for main drop. Filtered wider with harmonic swell. Vocal echoes and filtered arcs float across stereo. Filtered noise riser builds smooth tension. Percussion gains so complexity, preparing for main drop. Into infinity. Deep rolling bassline drives rhythm. Evolving paths shimmer, moving through stereo space. Arcs pulse progressively, melodic and hypnotic, preparing for main drop. Through infinity ranges. Deep rolling bassline drives rhythm. Evolving paths shimmer, moving through stereo space. Arcs pulse progressively, melodic and hypnotic. Airy vocal layers add ethereal depth. Energy smooth, progressive, cinematic. Kick and bass fade slightly, leaving pads and arcs. Soft ambient pad fades in with filtered white noise. A arpeggiated synth begins, liquid tone, gentle modulation. Deep sub bass pulses subtly under a soft 4/4 kick. Atmospheric aims where tails rising shimmer builds gently, warm, emotional foundation. Ethereal vocal phrases, light and absurd. Fading lines on the horizon, moving slow through silver tide. Bassline thickens, flowing and gliding between chords. Arcs develop melody, clean and hypnotic. Percussive texture, ring taps, soft taps, like echoes. That's feel mid-range lush, but I'm your Musiac. That widen in stereo, added air and lift. Subtle riser and filter percussion create forward motion. Vocals echoing dreamy reverb, hinting at drop. Hook, phrase, rhythms and main groove locks in. Flowing bassline, smooth, deep, perfectly side-chained. Arcs shimmer and move like waves that create a wide, immersive atmosphere. Kick and drop. Kick and percussion stay clean, control the rhythm. Feel emotion, you'll beat the raps. Ripples that get deeply grounded in groove. Groove fades to smooth, airy space. Arcs isolated, evolving with filter automation. Deep pad swells as sub reverb fill the space. Subtle delay tails hint, return of rhythm. Groove breeze turns richer with more layering. Arcs expand to full stereo lit. Vocal phrase reappears, fading into echo. Bends on a long reverb tape, like the horizon dissolving into night. Soft synth pad swells in, white stereo, velvet smooth. Filtered rhodes chords gently fade through low pass filter. Percussion muted shaker, subtle loop, text brush. Heck, soft and rounded, steady heartbeat, pulse. Effects like rain, reverb, tail, guarded ambiance. Soul, reverse, vocal textures drift across the field. Brief leafy, intimate vocal. Whispers fall beneath the moon. We're booming in a quiet tune. Chords deepen with lush electric piano voicing. Sub-bass slides in, warm, round, and smooth. Light vocal, reverb and echo for distance. Add shimmer softly behind vocals. Percussion gains gentle momentum. Pads open up dreamy, wide and glowing. Short riser made from reversed piano and reverse wells. Vocals double track, creating an ethereal harmony. In the midnight bloom, full deep house groove blooms. Bass line guides and smooth syncopation. Roots and pad layers entwine in stereo space. Vocal echoes form part of the rhythm. Crisp hi-hats add shimmer without aggression. Energy, intimate, slow burning, hypnotic. Kick fades, ambient texture takes over. Pads expand, electric piano solos softly. Vocals drift through lush reverb tails. Warm and mellow delay fills the background. Built slowly with filtered percussion returning. Groove returns a smoother, lower form. Pads and birds glide together like percussive accents, snaps, muted hats, ends on a sustained chord and fading vocal echo. Percussion, muted, shaker, subtle, rim, text, brush. Percussion, muted, shaker, subtle, rim, text, brush.
Soft ambient pad fades in warm hazy tone. Solo filtered kick establishes heartbeat rhythm. Sparse vocal chops echo lightly, drenched in reverb. Sub-bass creeps in slowly with pulsing groove. Background textures reversed hi-hats, final hiss, faint melodic echoes. Vocal chops form melody. Lyrics implied through tone rather than words. Deep rolling bass line locks in. Smooth hi-hat pattern adds swing. Gentle chord stabs in sync with groove. Atmosphere stays intimate and hypnotic, minimal yet full of depth. Pads expand into stereo space. Vocal chops rise slightly in pitch and reverb with. Filter sweep builds tension subtly. Percussion layers thicken just before the drop. Hook phrase, wordless folk. Ooh-ah, ready, ambient note. Rolling sub-bass clean and warm. Tight 4/4 kick with sidechain pulse. Vocal chops layered rhythmically, percussive and melodic. Bad shimmer in background feels hypnotic, emotional, and deeply textured. A mirror of night movement. Kick and hats fade out. Vocal chops echo through filtered reverb space. Add evolving pad and light noise texture. Slow riser with subtle delay builds tension. Groove returns with full power but smoother mix. Pads open brighter, lush, euphoric undertone. Vocal chops and bass blend seamlessly. Ends with pad and subtail fading into silence. Vocal chops form melody. Lyrics implied through tone rather than words. Deep rolling bass line locks in. Smooth hi-hat pattern adds swing. Gentle chord stabs in sync with groove. Atmosphere stays intimate and hypnotic, minimal yet full of depth. Pads expand into stereo space. Vocal chops rise slightly in pitch and reverb with. Filter sweep builds tension subtly. Percussion layers thicken just before the drop. Hook phrase, wordless folk. Ready, ambient note. Rolling sub-bass clean and warm. Tight 4/4 kick with sidechain pulse. Filter sweep builds tension subtly. Percussion layers thicken just before the drop. Hook phrase, wordless folk. Sub-bass clean and warm. Tight 4/4 kick with sidechain pulse. Filter sweep builds tension subtly, but just before the drop. Hook phrase, wordless folk. Hook phrase, wordless folk. Hook phrase, word folk. Ready, ambient note. Ready, ambient note. Ready, ambient note. sound. Blowing sub-bass, clean and warm. Tight 4/4 kick with sidechain pulse. Vocal chops layered rhythmically, percussive and melodic. Back shimmer in background feels hypnotic, emotional, and deeply textured. A mirror of night movement. Kick and hats fade out. 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 Kick and hats fade out.
Lush pads fading, warm white evolving slowly. Subtle kick, pulse center softly. Minimal percussion, brushed hi-hat, soft shakers, muted clap echoes. Background effect, soft reverb, quell, smooth, airy synth chord melodic. Soft ambient folk phrases, moonlight dances on the tide, whispers of the night collide. Bassline warm round, subtle sidechain groove, bars evolve harmonically, airy, spacious, reflective. Percussion remains soft, creating an intimate rhythm. Optional soft pluck melody enhances warmth. Pads widen and shimmer slightly like vocal echoes or breathy textures flow. Filterizer or reverse pad introduces subtle tension. Percussion slightly layered for depth. Under the moonlit sky, full groove emerges, soft bassline smooth and warm. Lush pad layers create night harmonic space. Soft percussion complements without overpowering. Vocal layers or airy phrases drift embedded. Intimate comments innovative. Kick and percussion fade, leading pads and textures. Ambient synth motif shimmer evolving slowly. Vocals echo with long reverb tails. Reserves or subtle filters sweep sweet back to groove. Groove returns gently, maintaining intimate vibe. Pads expand fully, shimmering and lush. Bassline warm round, subtle sidechains subtly. Vocals fade with airy echoes. Ends on pad and reverb tails, soft and reflective.
Musiac texture the flow. Keeps up bass pulse, emerges smooth and hypnotic sidechain to a slow. Different echo percussion, distant good soft hi-hats, brush stands, restrained spatial ambient defense with texture reversals, felt through atmosphere. Soft, distant vocal, ethereal and light. In the silence of the night, horizon fades, we drift through light. Sub-bass deepens, rounded rolling under the pads. The pads evolve, lush, cinematic chord progression and percussion. Minimal but steady, deep and clean. Optional melodic motif, airy synth, vocal distant guitar tone. Pads open up, where our next introduced. The percussion adds full drive, shaker groove or hits. Reverb swells, but anticipation subtly. Filter resonate from pad to texture leads into drop. From the box to the night horizon, the full pneumatic deep groove drops. Hypnotic sub-bass anchors the track, rolling and wide. Pad sugar across stereo space, soft percussion groove drive movement. Airy synth layers or vocal textures float above. Into deep ambiance. Sub-bass filter slow, leaving airy textures. Atmospheric pads expand with lush reverb and delay. Distant vocal echoes return, almost whisper question percussion falls. Groove returns fully smoother and deeper, adds and bass breathe in sync. Percussion stays minimal but hypnotic. Melodies pick down elements, kick phase, pass dissolve. Ends with cinematic, pad fade, deep sub bass tail lingering. Then deep drum bass breathe and sing. Then deep drum bass breathe and sing. Then deep drum bass introduced, then deep drum bass breathe and sing. Open up and empty, then reset dissolve. Ends with cinematic, pad fade, keeps up bass tail lingering. Low sub-drone fades in, slowly pulsating. Dark ambient bands drifting, filtered and wide. Minimal kick, pulse begins, muffled and deep. Sub-percussive textures, distant clicks, reversed hands. Atmosphere cinematic and immersive, setting tension. Low, whispered vocal phrases, shadows move, the night begins. Every beat pulls deeper in, deep growing sub-bassline enters smooth hypnotic rhythm. Pads swell, slowly modulate with subtle filter LFOs. Percussion minimal, sharp rim clicks, faint shaker patterns, synth stabs gliding faintly with long delay trails. Pads open wider, stereo field expands, add rising filter noise for tension. Kick sharpness, slowness, side shape flow. Dark pads spread across dairy pins. Fill groove locks in heavy sub-bass rolling with side shape flow. Dark pads spread across stereo spectrum. Passion tightens minimal, pump punch. Subtle vocal layers enhance hypnotic pulse. Perfectly balanced full late night sense. Kick and bass drop bounce. Pads drift in ambient reverb space. Up starts of pattern fades in bright but eerie. Rising pads swell reintroduces groove. Groove returns deeper and smoother. Bass remains powerful but controlled. Pads evolve as slow filter sweeps. Vocals and textures fade into dark reverb tail. Ends with deep sub-fade and soft pad decay. rising filter noise for tension. Kick sharp and slightly pulling listener deeper. Vocal chops echo faintly through reverb cloud. 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 Vocal chops echo
into the night. Feel the groove ignite, full groove locks and heavy sub-bass rolling with sidechain flow. Dark pads spread across stereo spectrum. Passion tones minimal but punchy. Subtle vocal layers enhance hypnotic pulse. Energy deep, dark, immersive. Group under bounce for late night sets. Kick and bass drop bounce. Pads drifting ambient reverb space. Ops toss and pad fades in bright and eerie. Rising pad slowly introduces groove. Groove turns deeper smoother. Bass remains enhanced hypnotic pulse.
Ocean of soft lace, filtered blade effects. Warm pad fades, smooth glassy with subtle stereo motion.
Percussion, wooden rim hits, Musiac shakiness, conga echoes. Kick deep and rounded, subtle low and thump. Guitar or marimba plug loop with soft delay for tropical feel. Gradual addition of airy reverb textures to set the mirage mood. Gentle vocal, feminine. Underneath the ocean skies, we move where sunlight never dies. Soft sub-bass slides beneath percussion. Pad shimmer with light modulation, like sunlight through water shoe. Melodic, deep synth elements weaving softly. Groove light swaying in liquid. Pads widen and brighten, more mid-range warmth. Percussion grows layered, hand drums or claps. Reverb tails lengthen, vocal echoes stretch across stereo fields. Subtle riser with ocean effects swells in background. Lost inside the ocean mirage, full tropical deep house groove. Sub-bass deep but smooth rhythmic glide. Percussion, wooden rim hits, Musiac shakers, conga echoes. Kick deep and rounded, subtle low and thump. Guitar will remember pluck loop with soft delay for tropical feel. Gradual addition of airy reverb textures to set the mirage mood. Gentle vocal light modulation to set the mirage mood. Gentle vocal feminine. Beneath the ocean skies we move where sunlight never dies. Soft sub-bass lines beneath percussion passion. Pad shimmer with light modulation, like sunlight through water moon. Lost inside the ocean mirage, full tropical deep house groove. Sub-bass deep but smooth rhythmic glide. Percussion, wooden rim hits, Musiac shakers, conga echoes. Kick deep and rounded, subtle low and thump. Lost inside the ocean mirage, full tropical deep house groove. Sub-bass deep but smooth rhythmic glide. Percussion, wooden rim hits, Musiac shakers, conga echoes. Kick deep and rounded, subtle low and thump.
Lost inside the ocean mirage.
Full tropical deep house groove. Sub-bass deep but smooth rhythmic glide. Soft congas, layered snaps. Pads evolve, airy, luminous, water-like shimmer. Melodic element, mallet or bellers, moving like ripples. Packnet deep, perfect for sunset transitions. Late yet deep, perfect for sunset transitions. Ocean effects return, layered with reversed pad swells. Vocal ad-libs folk gently with filtered delay. Pads shift to minor voicing for emotional depth. Build slowly back to full rhythm. Groove returns with slightly reduced elements. Bassline and tropical percussion carry the flow. Arch shimmer fading into ocean ambience. Ends on fire.
Soft ambient
Ambient pads fade in, white shimmering filter. Gentle sub-bass pulse begins, sidechain subtly to imaginary rhythm. Percussion fingers, muted hi-hats, low clap echoes. Effects, ocean waves, reverse and swells, water drop. Text immersive, aquatic tone, calm but alive. Ethereal vocal lines or wordless hums. Drifting deeper, light dissolves. Feel the ocean breathe, it evolves. Sub-bass grows warmer, rolling liquid, soft sidechain. Pads layer gently, evolving like slow-moving tides. Spot for layered flex or filtered synth tones, accent rhythm. Atmosphere immersive, floating slow pulse. As brighten reverb space widens. Soft filtered riser emerges. The ambient noise over. Fresh ambience, a touch of motion. Soft toms or brush snares. Light tension builds before full groove enters. Emotions pulse inside of me. Full liquid groove unfolds. Seeps up bass flowing rhythmically. Ambient pads moving in stereo. Percussion soft but clear. Underwater bounce. Arp or melodic synth rises subtly. Vocals drift like bubbles, spacious and fluid. Energy deep, hypnotic, reflective. Kick drops out. Ambient textures expands. Pad swells, sub-bass filters low. Melodic motif beats drenched in reverb and delay. Ocean effects, the filter bubbles flow the background. Groove returns fully smooth and deep. Pads shimmer brighter, evolving into closing progression. Bass rolls warmly, tying rhythm together. Vocals or melodic motif fade slowly. Ends with long reverb tail, pure ambient dissolve.
Melodic textures fade in, italic synth, subtle effects, mimics, minimal kick pictures, clean, precise, sidechain to sub-bass, bounce, gross percussion, clicks, soft ring hits, tiny hats, picoranas, darker sweeps, light reverb tails, wordless robotic vocal chops, or synth hums, data flows, circuits pulse, quantum groove within our pulse, bassline, move minimal, precise rhythmic but restrained, subtle fiddle, filter, atmospheric robotic shimmer. Minimal sparks creating groove, robotic groove. Pads wide and slightly full of filter modulation. Robotic vocal chops echo in stereo. Light riser using glitch effects and white noise. Got the groove in motion. Quantum groove in motion. Full minimal groove, sub-bass precise and rolling sidechain. Subtlety, pads and arms interweave metallic, elegant evolving textures. Ocean rings, sparse clicks, soft hats, muted snaps, most solo chops were probable. Fitted mats and hats, hypnotic feel. Energy, hypnotic, futuristic, minimalistic. Taking the percussion fade, leaving pads and arms. Pads evolve with slow filter sweeps. Never focus of textures to go pad creatively. Filterizers create anticipation for final drop. Groove returns minimal yet hypnotic. Pad shimmer, arts glide in precise motion. Sub-bass rolls subtly, sidechain to kick. Vocals, robotic fix, fake, gradually. Ends with evolving pad and texture tail. Minimal yet hypnotic. Pad shimmer, arts glide, precise motion. Sub-bass rolls subtly, sidechain to kick. Vocals, robotic fix, fake, gradually. Ends with evolving pad and texture tail. Melodic textures fade in, italic synth, subtle effects, mimics, minimal kick pictures, clean, precise, sidechain to sub
sounded and smooth filtered. Sub bass, rolling sine, analog hybrid. Melodies, silver noise, cinematic, beat, deep house vibe. Picking bass reduced to minimalic, melodic, peak, deep house vibe.
Breathy, airy vocal snippet. Shadows cross the sky tonight. A solar eclipse ignites the light. Bassline glides smoothly, rolling under the pads. Emotional synth swells rise in the background. Percussion minimal, light hi-hats, soft snaps. Pads evolve slowly with modulation for cinematic depth. Back brightening slightly, filter slowly opens. Percussion layers expand, soft clap, subtle tom hits. Vocal echoes stretched and delayed. Short riser using layered synths, noise sweeps and reverse chords. Feel the eclipse, shadows in motion. Full groove unfolds. Keep rolling sub bass anchors the track. Pads and synth swells create emotional lift. Percussion maintains hypnotic rhythm, soft but driving. Optional vocal chop, layered subtly for texture. Energy, immersive, cinematic, hypnotic, deep house vibe. Kick and bass reduced to minimal. Pads dominate, swelling synths echo creating dramatic tension. Every sales reverse synths while subtle risers. Pads with fading pads swell and low sub bass peel. For final drop.
Groove returns, fully smooth, dark, cinematic. Bands and synths flow dynamically. Simplified pads, rhythm clicks, and minimal snaps. Ends. Mixed with fading pad, swell and low sub bass tail.
Feel the eclipse, shadows in motion. Full groove unfolds. Deep rolling sub bass anchors the track. Pads and synth swells create emotional lift.
Evolving arpeggio fades in bright cascading gentle shimmer. Warm pad layer swells beneath, slowly opening with filters. Kick enters softly tight and clean, supported by subtle sub bass. Percussion soft hats, brush the shakers, minimal snaps. Background if ever soft reversed synths. Atmospheric vocal lines, feel the light beneath our skin. Solar veins ignite within. Bassline smooth, melodic sub-bass sidechain to groove. Power glowing, airy, slowly evolving chords. Arpeggio continue flowing, interlocking rhythmically. Vocals feel lightly above, drenched in reverb. Path widen, melodic elements swell in stereo. Percussion gains subtle energy with addition right hits. Filter vocal business on bass for warmth and drive. Rising texture or sweet bills toward drop. Hook line, hook ethereal phrase. Solar veins we rise again. Full groove pastel stereo space. Bright shimmering off flow rhythmically. Melodic bassline glides in smooth layers. Kick and percussion crisp and open. Vocal layers soar with delay. Energy uplifting, glowing motion of some sunrise moment. Kick phase weaving paths and melodic cups suspended. Vocal echoes drift through reversal. Paths evolve harmonically with ambient textures. A slow riser builds anticipation for the finale. Groove returns smoother and deeper. Paths and arms reach for lushness. Bass rolls deep and clean. Vocal textures fade gently, echoing solar veins. Ends of past shimmer fading into silence.
Add fades in like shimmering stereo field. Subtle liquid bass, texture bubbles underneath. Light percussion, clicks and shakers begins to establish groove. Atmospheric at distance and swells and filtered noise like space drift. Gradual addition of a cosmic IBU, heading slowly. Floating free beyond the line. Bassline deepens, smooth, fluid motion, round sub-presence. Paths evolve harmonically, glowing and expanding. Percussion gains energy with soft hats and rim patterns. Melody takes gentle lead, melodic but hypnotic. Bass rise with filtered lift. Bassline thickens slightly for anticipation. Subtle delayed effects and funk and vocal echoes swirl inbound. Energy builds smoothly, never peaking too early. Hot line turns thicker and deeper. Tabs open brighter, layering cosmic textures. Bassline smooth, rolling them to fade. Ends with reverb. A soft, endless echo into space.
Subtle underwater textures bubble through the white waves, soft waves. Liquid sub-bass pulses gently under kick. Soft ambient pad drifts in watery wide stereo field. Minimal percussion, muffled hi-hats, light clicks, soft congs. Arpeggiated synth motif begins to ripple gently. Breathy vocal phrases with breathe begins to ripple gently. Baseline deepens, rounds liquid gliding. Pads evolve slowly, modulated for watery motion. Percussion builds subtly, soft toms, brushed hats, arcs shimmer wide. Melodic, hypnotic. Pad brightens slightly with high-end shimmer. Vocal echoes layer softly, panning across their base. Pulses amid sidechain compression. Pads and arcs interweave in flowing patterns. Percussion precise yet soft, deep house groove. Airy vocal chops drift in space, echoing the cosmics. Energy hypnotic, immersive floating. Kick and percussion fade out. Pads and bass evolve, filter modulation mix underwater currents. Arcs echo with long delay, shimmering movement. Swell first transition to final section. Groove returns with smooth depth. Groove returns with smooth depth. Baseline rolling, pads wide and evolving. Vocals layered minimally airy submerged. Ends with reverberant pads, some bass tail fading to silence. Groove returns with smooth depth. Baseline rolling, pads wide and evolving. Vocals layered minimally airy submerged. Ends with reverberant pad and sub bass tail fading into silence. Soft analog pads fading, warm glowing, gently modulated. Kick enters deep but relaxed. Percussion, soft claps, muted hi-hats, subtles. Neon synth plugs introduce main melodic, shimmering and retrofuturistic. Background effects set in soft wing vinyl hiss. Soft vocal or synth lead line, cruising slow through city light. Reflections fade into the night. Baseline smooth, steady liquid flow, light side chain. Pads evolve with warmth, creating ambient motion. Subtle, retro, FM tones clean and emotion. Groove laid back yet consistent, perfect for late night sets. Bad shimmer wider, delay trails float into stereo space. Percussion gains subtle momentum, extra hi-hat jump. Low pass filter opens slightly, revealing full texture. Light riser or reverb swell builds anticipation. Ride the night, twilight cruise. Old groove builds, deep rolling bassline anchors the mix. Neon synths expand with reverb shimmer, adds swirl across stereo field. Percussion balance, smooth, tight, unhurried, but politely processed, airy, smooth. Neon bass fade out, leaving pads and synth motifs. Melodic leads through synth motifs. Effects, textures, fills, fades, ends with slow filter flows. Just add revert tail remaining. Groove returns with full warmth, cruising slow through to closing harmony. Elections fade into the night, reprise, surprise, softly, smooth fades. Ends with slow filter close, just pad and revert tail remaining.
Architecture's fade, field recordings, rethink chimes. Distant filtered pads open slowly with shimmer, reverb, subtle, deep kick, pulse introduces heartbeat rhythm. Minimal percussion, soft hi-hats, reverse clicks, faint snaps. Mirage like synth melody drifts in with long decay. Whisper ending and vocal phrases fade into the light, drift into the calm. Pads lush and evolving with modulated filters. Bass deep and smooth, subby warmth of the mix. Texture, subtle stereo delay, gives illusion of space and motion. Percussion remains minimal, driving soft hypnosis. Pads is cut wide, bright frequencies introduced. Adds subtle percussive accents, join beat with elation. Special reverb gives immense smooth,
Rhythm slow and steady, velvet motion always ready. Warm analog style, sub rolling and smooth. Adds evolving dimension like reverb on vocals, airy and intimate. Slow, deep, sensual flow. Adds volume, so don't rise. Percussion grows with layered claps and shakes. Electric piano melody becomes more rhythmic. Vocals echo softly, preparing for drop. Velvet motion through my soul. Full groove opens, deeps the bass pulse, spinny smooth electric piano. Add shimmer, then melodic warmth. Vocals echo softly, preparing for drop. Velvet motion through my soul. Full groove opens, deeps the bass pulse, spinny smooth electric piano. Add shimmer with an analog warmth. Vocals echo softly, preparing for drop.
Soft pad swell opens, warm hazy texture. Subtle filtered sub bass glides in underneath. Like percussion brushed hats, gentle shakers, soft rim hits. Ambient death back, distant wind faint, final noise shimmering reverb tails. Synth chords enter gently setting dreamy tone. Marginal, gentle vocal. Golden air, the days go by, fading light across the sky. Every heartbeat feels so near, drifting slow, the moments clear. Baseline, soft, warm, rolling, supports but never dominates. Layered with subtle movement. Percussion, deep but minimal groove, silky swing. Arbor pluck, melody E introduced, softly sparkling laneway, some reflections. Ads expand, stereo image widens. Add lights, synth late with the shimmer reverb. Reverse vocal textures or breathy echoes rising back. Filter riser builds antiventilation smoothly. Hook line. Under velvet skies, we drift and close our eyes. Full groove opens, deep sub bass rolling, perfectly sidechained. Trinidad layers and bright white arms. Soft vocal layers that go with plain reverb. Percussion flows clean and tight with silky swing. Energy, warm, cinematic, emotional, a perfect deep house sunset moment.
with ambient reverb space. Faint room tone, glass clinks, the final crackle. Kick enters soft and warm, low pass deep tone. Minimal percussion follows. Rim taps, dry hat loop, faint shaker. Add texture, distant and slow, like a reverb tail in motion. Atmosphere, hypnotic, cinematic, almost still. Introduce sub bass pulse, clean, round, warm. Add short synth chords, on low pass filter. Occasional vocal breath or soft texture sample. Groove remains minimal, the space is delivered. Add expand, more reverb depth than stereo width. Light delay effect on percussion, slowly build in anticipation. Up to a reversal sweeps add movement without clutter. Keep groove hypnotic and uncluttered. Keep groove hypnotic and cluttered. Vocal texture optional, whisper tone. Bassline deepens, round, pulsating and steady. Add shiver with long reverb tails floating across stereo view. Add soft and long stab, warm chord in every few bars. Energy, heat, make that hypnotic music that breathes. Reverb space becomes the key. Strip everything to cut bass tail. Introduce an FX texture is air push. Final hits, A-decker grills, slowly automate reverb. Continue for evolving optics. Creates the sensation of flow flowing and in your room. Groove enters gently, minimal percussion, subtle vocal or synth stabs echo softly. Pads fade gradually, bass glides into silence, and with a long reverb tail, leaving a calm void.
Starts with soft ambient paths, warm velvety texture. Low filtered kick, joints gradually rounded and deep. Soulful bassline motif begins, smooth sliding notes. Subtle wells like chords shimmering in the background. Light vocal snippet, some distant wind, faint vocal breath, pierced. Light vocal snippet, where soul still flows. Bassline becomes forward groovier, percussion elements, soft hi-hats, rhythm clicks, light snaps. Pads evolve, no filter, automation full warmth, back texture, lush, comforting, interpolation for warmth, texture, lush, comforting, hypnotic, introduce soulful synth chords, warm off in 5 patch, subtle riser, vocal delay, build tension, groove breathes, remix wind keeps it alive, emotion builds softly, introspective, cinematic, big idea, velvet skies, drifter time. Bassline beats, melodic, roll, as chords expand in stereo space. Percussion becomes more vibrant, but still soft. Energy deep, elegant, and sensual marks of soft synth as light sparkle over the top. Adds the center stage, drenched in reverb. Revolve drums, focus on atmosphere and emotional tone. Add a filtering rolls or an ambient plug sequence. Slowly reintroduce, kick with low pass opening into the final drop. Full groove returns fine and confident. Add shimmer softly, bassline glides smoothly, gradually strip elements back to just pads of bass fade out. Ends with an airy chord tail, like a horizon, melting away. Relevant founded 5 patch, subtle riser, vocal delay, no tension. Groove breathes, remix wind keeps it alive. Emotion builds softly, introspective and cinematic. Cook idea, velvet skies, drifter time. Idea, velvet skies, drifter time. Bassline lakes melodic, rolling and rolling. Pads chords expand, stereo space. Percussion becomes more vibrant but still soft. Energy deep, elegant, and sensual. Arms are soft, simply as light sparkle over the top.
Pads take center stage, drenched in reverb. Remove drums, focus on atmosphere and emotional tone. Add a filter to Rhodes or ambient clock sequence. Slowly reintroduce kick with low pass, opening into the final drop. Full groove returns refined and confident. That shimmers softly, baseline glides smoothly. Gradual strip tones, back to just pass up, bass fade out. Ends with an airy chord tail, back to the horizon, melting away. Starts with soft ambient pads and warm velvety texture. Low filter kick joins gradually rounded and deep. Soulful bassline motif begins smooth sliding notes. Subtle wolf-like chords shimmer in the background. Night vocals snippet, rise and fade, where the soul still flows. Bassline becomes fuller and groovier. And percussion elements, soft hi-hats, ring clicks, line snaps. Pads evolve, gentle filter automation for warmth. Texture, lush, comforting, and hypnotic. Introduce soulful synth chords, a warm profit. Riser, vocal delay, build tension. Groove breeze, rhythmic swing, keeps it alive. Emotion builds softly, introspective and cinematic. Hook idea, optional. Baseline leads, melodic and rolling. Fast chords expand in stereo space. Percussion becomes more vibrant but still soft. Energy, deep, elegant, and sensual. Ultra soft synth lead adds light sparkle over the top. Light vocal snippet, where the soul still flows. Bassline becomes fuller and groovier. Add percussion elements, soft hi-hats, rim clicks, light snaps. Pads evolve, gentle filter automation for warmth. Texture, lush, comforting, and hypnotic. Horizons fade, where the soul still flows. Bassline becomes fuller and groovier. Add percussion elements, soft hi-hats, rim clicks, light snaps. Introduce soulful synth chords like a warm profit 5. Subtle riser and vocal delay build tension. Groove breathes, rhythmic swing keeps it alive. Emotion builds softly, introspective and cinematic. Emotion builds softly, introspective and cinematic. Emotion builds softly, introspective and cinematic. Still soft, introspective. Percussion becomes more vibrant but still soft. Energy, deep, elegant, and sensual. Ultra soft synth lead adds light sparkle over the top. Ultra soft synth lead adds light sparkle over the top. Pads take center stage, drenched in reverb. Remove drums, focus on atmosphere and emotional tone. Add a filter of Rhodes or ambient clock sequence. Slowly reintroduce kick with low pass, opening into the final drop. Full groove returns refined and confident. Shimmers softly, bassline glides smoothly. Gradually strip elements, back to just pads, sub bass fade out. Ends with an airy chord tail, like a horizon melting away. Space ends with an airy chord tail, like a horizon melting away. Horizon melting away.
Ambient cinematic cafe in Melodic. subtle motion. Deep sub kick slowly enters wide and soft, not punchy. Filtered arcs shimmer faintly like light refraction. Add textural field sounds, ring desert tone or soft reverse reverb tape. Creates a meditative film score like entry. Melodic bassline, introduce warm round analog style glide. Plug center soft bell plays minimal melody. Pads shift subtly in harmony every 8 bars. Optional vocal textures, distant ah or airy hums. Energy slow build, deep emotional undertones. Resonance symphony, lush tone, light reverb trail. Filter automation begins creating lift. Percussion grows slightly, soft hats, rim taps, brush clap. A cinematic swell transitions into the drop. Full melodic groove unfolds, white bass and a soft movement. Lush chord layers, soft pad blend. Arc sparkle and stereo, a melodic resonance builds emotional pull. Percussion minimal, rhythmic side chain to the groove. Fast, expansive, cinematic yet club ready. The mirage appears, a balance between movement and stillness. Strip away kick and percussion. Keep arcs plus pads floating in reverb space. Introduce cinematic rise. Insert noise, reverse, trench, synth felt like a mirage dissolving. You see it fade, but it was never gone. Groove returns softer, more reflective. Arcs flow slightly, bass smooth and sub-focus. Back stretch and fade gradually. Ends on a reverb drench, synth note like a mirage dissolving.
Ambient cinematic pad fade in, omits with slow motion. Deep sub kick slowly enters, wide and soft, not punchy. Filtered arc shimmer faintly, like light refraction. That textural field sounds, wind desert tone, soft reverse river tails. Creates a meditative film score like entry. Melodic bassline introduced warm round analog style glide. Plug synth or soft bell plays minimal melody. Pad shift subtly in harmony every 8 bars. Optional vocal textures, distant ah or airy hums. Energy slow build, deep emotional and undertone. Introduce resonant synthly, lush tone, light reverb trail. Filter automation begins, create lift. Percussion grows slightly, soft hats, rim taps, brush clap. A cinematic swell transitions into the groove. Moving like groove unfolds, white bassline with soft movement. Lush chord layers, soft to soft pad blend. Or sparkle in stereo, melodic resonance builds emotional pull. Percussion minimal, rhythmic sidechain to the groove. Move fast, expansive, cinematic yet club ready. Mirage appears, a balance between movement and stillness. Strip away kick and percussion. Keep arcs plus pads floating in reverb space. Introduce cinematic rise. Filter noise, revert piano, or long swell. Optional spoken vocal line, whispered tone, poetic phrase. You see it fade, but it was never gone. Groove returns softer, more reflective. Arms slow slightly, bass moves into sub-focus. Pad stretch and fade gradually. Ends on a reverb drenched synth note like a mirage dissolving.
Final crackle or city ambient noise intro.
Slowly filtered paths fading, lush, wide stereo field.
Kick enters gently, warm round.
Sub-bass glides in subtly, setting the tone. Vibe, cinematic and nocturnal, smooth as neon light on wet asphalt. Soft female vocal chops, ambient, distant.
Dreamline, keep me in your glow.
Add liquid plucks and analog chords. Bass becomes more rhythmic, still smooth and deep. Hi-hats start ticking in syncopated patterns. Add shimmer and evolve, gentle movement. Add filtered arps, give movement and space. Percussion becomes layered, light snap shakers. Vocals stretch for long river and relay takes. So subtle, riser leads to the drop.
Ideal, deep down the tree line.
Full groove launches, tight and melodies. Smooth chords, wide and polished.
Backless stand for short lift.
Energy smooth, hypnotic, romantic, perfect for cruising at midnight. Subtle reverb percussion to enhance bass. Add swell with reverb tails. Vocal echoes loop with delay. Bass and kick fade out momentarily. Introduce filtered piano or analog pop for melodic touch. Bring groove back gently. Minimal percussion, deep bass. Add shimmer again with phasing effect. Gradually strip down elements until only ambient beat pads remain. Fade out into city ambience. Gently, minimal percussion, deep bass. Add shimmer again with phasing effect. Gradually strip down elements until only ambient beat pads remain. Fade out into city ambience. Ambient beat pads remain. Bass, bill, words, rupture.
Slowly filter past fade in lush white stereo field. Kick enters gently.